Today's topic is business environment, management and business environment. Every business enterprise owes its existence to society. It draws its inputs from society, converts them into output and supplies it to society. It operates in association with various groups in society such as customers, suppliers, competitors, banks, financial institutions, trade unions, etc. They constitute the environment of business because they influence the functioning of business. So, what is business environment? Business environment is the sum total of all individuals, institutions, and other forces that are outside the control of a business enterprise that affects the performance of the business enterprise. These factors are social, economic, political, legal, technological, etc. What are the features or characteristics of business environment? They are totality of external forces. Totality of external forces. Business environment is the sum total of all the external factors that influence the functioning of the business. Hence, it can be called as the comprehensive mega force consisting of all external inputs. Secondly, specific and general forces. Business environment is made up of both specific and general forces. Specific force refers to the customer, competitor, investors, etc., which have a direct effect on the day-to-day working of the business, while the general forces refers to social, political, legal, technological, and other forces which indirectly affect the operations of a business. Thirdly, we have interrelatedness. Third feature of our business environment is interrelatedness. Various elements of business environment are very closely related to each other. For example, at present, there has been an increase in demand for products like cola, fat-free cooking oil, sugar-free products, etc., due to increase in awareness for good health among the consumers. Fourthly, dynamic nature. Business environment is dynamic in nature. That is, it keeps on changing. For example, change in government policies, change in taste and choice of the consumer, change in technology, etc. Such changes could be triggered by internal or external factors. Fifthly, uncertainty. Business environment is very uncertain as one cannot predict as to what will happen in future, especially in case of fashion industry, film industry, and information technology. Its dynamic nature makes it all more challenging to handle uncertainty. The next point is complexity. Many forces constitute the business environment. Thus, it becomes very difficult to know exactly the relative influence of a particular force, whether social, economic, technological, etc., on the functioning of a business enterprise because all these factors are related to one another. Managers constantly need to simplify this complexity as much as possible all the time. For example, if there is change in demand of a product, it becomes very difficult to determine the separate influence of social, political, technological, economic, or legal forces, etc., on such a change. The next one is relativity. Different countries and different regions have different business environments, no doubt about that. Thus, business environment is a relative concept. For example, technology in Japan differs from that in India, or say in Pakistan, China, etc. Hence, A MNC or multinational enterprise has to keep this aspect in mind while formulating its policies for, for different countries. What is the importance of business environment? Each business firm has to exist, survive, and grow in relation to the various forces of the business environment. Since business firms have no control on these forces, it has to adapt itself according to these forces. The importance of business environment is understood from the following points. First point, it enables the firm to identify opportunities and getting the first mover advantage. What's meant by opportunities? Opportunities refers to the positive external trends that help an enterprise to improve its performance. The firms which are able to scan these opportunities at an early stage itself get maximum benefit and can leave their competitors behind. Example, scientific research has come out with an energy efficient light bulb which lasts at least 20 times more than a normal bulb. General Electric and Philips had identified this discovery and are coming up with their new bulbs. Okay, second point, it helps the firm to identify the threats and early warning signals. What's meant by threat? Threat refers to those environmental trends which hinder or obstruct the performance of an enterprise. Environment understanding helps an enterprise to recognize qualitative information in advance, which can be used to prepare it for facing likely challenges. Example, if any new multinational company is entering the Indian market, the manager of an Indian firm dealing with same product as that of the MNC should take it as a warning signal. He should handle this threat proactively and well ahead of the launch of MNC's product and take measures like improving the quality of his product, heavy advertisement, etc. Thirdly, tapping useful resources. Business enterprises require many resources like raw materials, tools, equipment, finance, labor, etc. for performing business activities. These resources are known as inputs. Business environment provides all these inputs to the business firms for carrying out their activities and also expects something in return. The firms supply their output to the environment. For example, goods and service to the customer, payment to investors on account of money invested by them, payment of wages to the workers, and so on. Thus, we can say that business firms depend fully on the environment for supplying inputs and for receiving their outputs. Fourthly, it helps in coping with rapid changes. Business environment is very dynamic. One can see changes like new technology, fragmented markets, more demanding customers, heavy global competition, and so on. Thus, in order to efficiently cope up with these changes, managers must understand the environment and should adopt appropriate courses of action at the right time. Right time is also an important value word. It helps management become more sensitive to ever-changing needs of customers. As a result, they are able to respond to such changes effectively. Fifthly, helps in assisting in planning and policy formulation. Business environment brings both threats and opportunities to a business. So, understanding of environment keeps the management in future planning and decision making. Example, competition increases with the entry of new firms in the market. The management has to draw new plans and policies to deal with the new competitors. Environmental awareness provides intellectual stimulation to planners in their decision making. They can make changes in their plans efficiently and effectively. Business environment helps in improvement in performance. Environmental awareness provides a continuing broad-based education for management. Objective qualitative information generated by such understanding provides a strong basis for strategic thinking. The enterprises that monitor their environment closely can adopt suitable business practices not only to improve their performance but also to become leaders in the industry. And it creates image building. Environmental understanding generates a feeling among public that business is sensitive and responsive to its environment. This helps in building image or reputation of the firms. The understanding of its business environment helps an organization to make realistic plans and ensures their effective implementation. It helps the business enterprise in identification of opportunities and threats. As a result, an enterprise is likely to succeed in achieving its goals smoothly and consistently. Today's assignment is first question. Define the term business environment. The answer is very clear already. The first point itself, that is, business environment means the sum total of all individuals, institutions, and other forces that are outside the control of a business enterprise, but may affect its performance. The second question is, what do you mean by general and specific forces of business environment? Yes. Answer. Business environment includes both specific and general forces. Specific forces such as investors, customers, competitors, suppliers, they are specific. They affect individual enterprises directly and immediately in their day-to-day working. Yes. General forces such as social, political, legal, and technological conditions, they have impact on all business enterprises and thus may affect an individual firm only indirectly. The third question, read the question correctly. Explain with the help of an example how does the business environment help in the identification of threat and early warning signals. So we should write the word meaning of threat and what are the bad effects or the difficulties or the hindrances. With the example, you can highlight from the learned points itself. Okay, thank you. All the best.